Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. In this follow up to episode 3, I would like to explore the subtle yet devastating forms of emotional abuse that was woven through my adolescence. We'll unpack how control can be disguised as parenting, how humiliation becomes a weapon, and how identity suppression leaves invisible wounds. If you've ever questioned why you struggle with your self image, self trust, or just the fear of being too much, then this one is for you. Let us have a look at control. Control doesn't always come with shouting or slamming doors. Sometimes control shows up as haircuts you've never asked for, or dreams snatched away under the guise of what's best. In the last story, I told you about how at age 12, I was beginning to step into myself and how each step forward was clipped, shaved, redirected, literally. Now, let's talk about what was really happening because for a long time I thought I was the problem. I was too sensitive, I was too dramatic, I was basically just too needy. But now I see it for what it actually was. It was emotional abuse. So, specifically, identity suppression. When a parent takes away your choices, your appearance, your passions, your voice, it starts chipping away at your sense of self. When you experience humiliation to the extent that I experienced it, there's public embarrassment as a child, them laughing at you when you're vulnerable, teaches you that your pain is entertainment, sabotaging of your achievements, so downplaying your success or creating obstacles when you thrive can stem from jealousy, yes, jealousy from your parent, insecurity, their insecurity, or a need for them to maintain control. And then another one is inconsistent parenting. There's the promising of one thing, then exploding in complete and utter rage when it's time for them to follow through. This ends up creating confusion, anxiety, and chronic self doubt. These aren't just isolated incidents, they create long term patterns in how we see ourselves, how we relate to others, and how safe we feel just being. So maybe you learned to second guess your excitement, or maybe you flinch when somebody celebrates you, wondering if you'll be punished for it later. Maybe you've learned to dim your light so no one tries to snuff it out again. If that is you, please hear this. You were never too much. You were simply in an environment that gave you too little. I'm learning how to rebuild what was broken, to reclaim the pieces of me I had to hide or surrender in order for me to survive. And I want that for you too. I would just like to end today's episode with a quote. The most courageous act is so to think for yourself aloud. Coco Chanel. Let's reclaim that courage together. Thank you.